Is design actually dead? Well, today we're going to put that to the test. The two most popular design tools, Figma and Framer, have both recently released AI agents on the canvas that can design for you. So I'm going to give them both the same brief, the same prompt, and compare which one is best so we can crown a winner. Let's go. Okay, so let's start with Framer here. I'm in a brand new project and I'm going to paste in a prompt. So I've asked it to create a visually polished, creative one-pager website for a fictional product called Moodboard FM. Moodboard FM is an imaginary audio platform that turns visual mood boards into generative playlists for designers, filmmakers, and creative teams. I've also included what it should include. So a hero section, strong visuals, a specific headline, some supporting copy, a primary call to action, a secondary call to action. I've also asked it to create a section explaining simply how this works. And I've given it some direction in terms of the aesthetic and style as well. So using a dark interface with vibrant accent colors to avoid generic SaaS design, which AI typically tends to spit out. I've also told it to avoid stock photo visual styles. Essentially, we want to create something that's really unique and creative here. And I just want to see how far we can push this. Now, we'll also use Opus 4.8 inside of Framer because that's by far the most superior model when it comes to creating design. So we'll click on send and we'll set the timer on that one. And we'll go over to Figma now and we'll paste the exact same thing. So again, we're in a brand new project. So I'm just going to click on send. And now let's let the AIs race to see what they create. But just quickly before we skip ahead to the final outcome, because, you don't want to wait for this either. Basically, it's interesting to actually see how each platform is actually considering the design process. So here, Frame has actually gone ahead and started a design plan, and it's essentially trying to create all the styles first, where Figma doesn't actually show us what they're doing, but I'm going to presume it uses something fairly similar, and I'd actually be disappointed if they didn't consider creating text styles and color styles and things like that. But, well, here we go. You can see it started to create the page, at least the initial structure of it. And Frame has also done the same. It's now added a dark background. So I'm going to come back in a couple minutes and we're going to see what the final result is. Okay, so it looks like Figma has already finished and Framer is still technically going. So I know there's been a lot of talk about how expensive Framer is. So, obviously it taking longer as well is going to add to the cost, but we'll break that down shortly. But let's start with Figma and reference the design here. First things first, let's be honest, it's not great. It feels like a vibe coded website. Like, don't get me wrong, I think this is really cool that all this is just native layers inside of Figma, meaning I can just tweak and update things as I want, and it's on a freeform canvas. That's the designer's dream. But, I think it lacks a little bit of taste. It feels very generic. It did deliver what I said. This graphic here is, well, that's very questionable. We said to use non-generic stock photos, and that's what it outputs. And also this graphic here, who even knows what this is meant to represent? A couple of things I would point out here. Firstly, the heading is instrument serif, and the body copy is Geist mono. But if we look at the buttons here, the content here is also Geist mono. I would actually recommend that this would actually be the heading font instrument serif. Even though it's smaller, I think that would be nicer. And the fact that the buttons actually have all capitalized text here when we don't actually use that as a style anywhere else on the website, that's a weird design decision. But up in the button up here, not everything is capitalized, so that's not even consistent. And the radius on these buttons is super round at 100. But here, it's not super round. So if we're going to look at a consistency perspective, you actually would want to make this as round as possible. And then again, if we look at the navbar here, we kind of have normal characters. Then when we go down here, everything's capitalized. It's just those little consistencies that just like throw things off completely. Even the use of like a full stop, you'll notice that we're using a full stop here. We're using capital letters here again. I don't know what's going on with this design. It's everywhere. But even here, like we're not using full stops on other text elements, even the massive hero content here, but here we seem to think it's okay. So that's pretty weird. And even on the coloring, like we basically got 3 accent colors here. I don't actually know which one is the primary color of the website. It feels like we're using a lot of different options. So yeah, really not a fan of this design, but to be honest, it did the job. For 3 minutes, the fact that it could turn this around is impressive in terms of time, but not a massive fan of the output here. Let's take a look at Framer. Okay, so Framer is still going. Oh, I think it's just about to be completed. Okay, it's done. So let's review how long this actually took. So it took a total of 8 minutes and 10 seconds. So almost triple the amount of time that it took Figma. So I do think by that alone, Figma has a way bigger competitive edge simply because it's going to use less money and less tokens because it's taking less time. But without even looking at the design, what Framer has done already really well is it's created everything to be fully responsive, which is what you want. Now, if we compare this to Figma, yes, we didn't prompt it to make it a website, and this isn't in Figma Make, nor is it in Figma Sites where we can actually publish a website, but it still would have been nice if it gave us some sort of like layout option. I guess I can just copy and paste this into Figma Sites, but again, it's not exactly what we wanted. So already just from that perspective, Framer's winning. And if we go to the assets panel here, you can see it's created all the color styles and text styles that we need as well, which is a nice sort of benefit, which it doesn't look like that Figma has created any sort of libraries or styles here, which is a little bit disappointing, especially because it knew it was a website and you would think it would try to systemize a bit of this, but I guess it's just not built into their logic in terms of their AI. But let's actually review the design here. So again, first impressions, not great. It's okay. It's not the greatest. I would argue it's probably a little bit cleaner than, say, Figma's. It feels a little bit nicer, but it still kind of feels vibe coded. Actually kind of like these gradients here. There's something really cool you could do here. It would have been cool if it used like shaders or one of those cool features built into Framer. Not massive on the layout of these buttons here. I probably would have set the direction to be to the other way, which it looks like it's doing that, but it's got a weird wrap on it. So if we remove the wrap, that would feel a little bit nicer. This icon is a really nice touch. I do like that. I think that just the general UX here is a little bit nicer as well. Not a massive fan of these sort of cards on delay. And again, there's a lot of colors going on, but I think it's done a better job of choosing the pink as a primary accent color throughout the website. And then obviously we've asked it to make it quite colorful anyway, but it's kind of added some nice secondary colors. So if we compare that to here, even the colors here, looking back at Figma, feel a little bit bland. And here in Framer, they feel like really vibrant, which is exactly what we asked it to. Now, it didn't animate anything in Framer here, but that would just be another prompt away. But the crazy thing is, like, this is already a website that's like responsive, and it does have some sort of like subtle animations. So I guess there's a bit of a win there, but it is also responsive. So I can basically just press publish whenever I want, and I have a full website ready to go. And I think the benefit here is it's on a freeform canvas, just like a design tool should be. Therefore, I can go in, update the styling, the sizing, the content, whatever I want, and then apply those changes instantly. But I mean, you can make your own decision in terms of like which one you think is better. If I had to choose between Framer or Figma, I'm probably going to choose Framer. And the reason is just the design here is much nicer. It made it responsive, ready to go. Yes, it took a bit of extra time and also extra money in that sense, but I do think for what it kind of outputted, it is slightly better. However, I don't think that design is dead just because of these AI agents, and I do think that taste is still the moat, and I think it's a really hard thing for an AI agent to actually be able to get it to the level that you'd want it to be as a professional. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a really great place to start, but I think these AI agents are really good for helping speed up your workflow rather than just like replacing your creativity and taste. Like in particular with the AI agent inside of Framer, I could ask it to update content, I could ask it to do things in the CMS, even just making my site responsive. That was a really tedious task that I have to do beforehand, but now because of the agent is there, it can do it very quickly and it does the job well. So all those sort of workflows that are going to speed up your process is just a massive unlock. But if you are interested in mastering Framer agents and becoming an AI-powered web designer so you can ship faster, skip the tedious grunt work, and be more profitable, feel free to check out my Framer Agent Masterclass below. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Who was better, Figma or Framer? Until next time, I'll catch you later.